So welcome to my new series, my new program, Crazy Builds. So in this I will show you how to create a build, or how I would create a build against the other faction. And it is always spontaneous. So I have this auto generator over here. You can see every faction is in there. And if I click on this button over here, it will show faction at random. So the first faction it will show, forget this, so I will click now. The first faction I will show, I will create a build. So Empire, very cool. Let's go. And the second is the faction against we creating a build. So it's Norsca. So okay, let's go over here, Norsca, and we have Empire. So quite interesting matchup. I'm not sure overall who's in favor. I think Empire should be the better faction, or should be performing better in this matchup, but I'm not 100% sure. So, but let's go. So against Norsca I would always bring anything flying. So you have a lot of advantage if you have flying units or flying stuff, because Norsca has nothing flying, I think. So yeah, of course, except for this frost bomb. And yeah, this is the reason why I would bring a, let's go over here, Karl Franz maybe. But you can also bring Balthasar Geld on a Pegasus, also with final transmutation. Also a good pick. And General of the Empire, also very cheap option. Can also put him on an Imperial Griffin. And I like the performance also very much. It's also armor piercing of 290. That is quite good. So I like this. Karl Franz has also 290. Armor piercing is not that important because Norsca is not so heavily armored. So, but I think I would bring a, yeah. I would bring the General of the Empire, because in my opinion it's I think, what is this here, 500 credits less than the General of the Empire, and the advantage over the stats is not so immense. And in my opinion, General of the Empire is a quite good pick if you have to save money, or I like that. So I will pick him with on an Imperial Griffin. Hold the line. I'm not sure. Should disable it. Force Seeker, in my opinion, quite useless. I never picked that. And Deadly Onslaught, also not important to increase the charge bonus or armor piercing, good and not. But I like Stand Your Ground. If I would always bring it, or if it is possible. So this is very good ability over here. I like that. So I would bring it only here with no items. 1,500 about. Quite cheap. And you have a lot of mobility. And should perform quite good against Norsca. A hero, I'm not sure. You can bring a Light Wizard is always very good, but you can also bring a Bright Wizard, because the wolves, or the skin wolves, are not, they have a cause of fear. What's over here? Yeah, that regeneration, 20% weakness to fire damage. So they have regeneration, so so in combat it's quite good if you make fire damage. But of course it's only the skin wolves. I think they should have no. So I'm not sure. Light Wizard or Bright Wizard or Jade Wizard also. I think a Light Wizard. And I would also bring him on a flying mount, so on a Pegasus. Or yeah, it's quite expensive with 500. So on the Warhammer it should be fine over here, because he will not get in combat, and it's not important to put him on a strong Pegasus, and of course it's a lot of speed over here and armor, but it's not important, it's too expensive. So the leadership, that ability -4 leadership to enemies in range is not -4, it's not that much, and you can leave it out, save the money. Also here, increase power reserve, power research rate, not very important, leave that out over here. So you need the net of Amintok, so you can net large targets, like also the skin wolves or Warhammer, stuff like that. That is very important over here. This is the reason why I would bring it. Banishment, causal magic, do you not need that, because it's not important. And Baron's time warp, plus speed, plus melee attack, also not important. Unbreakable, not important. Magical damage, not important. That will increase the melee defense and the armor. I would bring that, because it's not the price is 78 credits, 80 credits. It's quite cheap, and it's also quite cheap. You don't need a lot of Winds of Magic over here. So 5 only. It's very cheap spell, and it's only for the defense. Of course, increases the armor on the melee defense, but it's in my opinion would bring that. You do nothing wrong. So I will enable it over here. So it's quite cheap. You can see 690 credits. That should be all right. Let's go to infantry. So Norsca had a lot of big units, and also quite good infantry. The performance of the Norscan infantry is very good overall, even if the variation is not really big. But you have to also be prepared to have a infantry build, so that a Norsca player will not bring any Warhammers and stuff. So no monsters. So you bring a lot of infantry. It's also very strong. So I would bring, a good mix is to bring Fraglance, cause Unbreakable, and they will not rout if a mammoth comes close to them and stuff. So it's very important to have a steady front line, even if they will get massacred from berserkers, in my opinion. So, but I would bring 4 units. Then you have to do something about the mammoths. So I would bring halberdiers. Also, let's make 4 units. And yeah, so we will come back to the infantry. Let's go to the missile infantry. So you have to bring handgunners over here for large targets like Warhammers. 2 should be enough, because you cannot protect as so many, so 2 is enough to protect them. Then we have the cavalry. I will leave that out for now. We'll come back to that. So I will directly go to the artillery. I will always pick a Hammer of Witches, because very strong against everything like Mammoths, Skin Wolves, Ice Trolls, against everything like over here. So you do nothing wrong with a Hammer of Witches. And yeah, but this is the only thing I would bring, in my opinion. So we have a lot of money left, a lot of credits left. In my opinion, the infantry is weak, so it's okay. This is steady. This will not break or get terrorized, or this will not break if a mammoth will come. But the performance against the infantry is not so good, so you have to support this one. These guys over here, the Flaglance, and the swordsmen are quite weak, in my opinion. Don't know the performance, so I would bring great swords. 2, maybe. Maybe I would leave One unit of halberdiers out. Then, yeah, let's see what we can pick. I'm not sure about the cavalry, because I would have to make some tests, because the Mass of Savagery, how is the performance against the Demigryphs? But the performance is, in my opinion, is really good. They are designed to kill every cavalry unit, and in my opinion, it's not a really good decision to bring cavalry, and I'm not sure. At least these guys, the Knights of the Blazing Suns, of course, they are making flaming attacks, and they are very heavily armored. But the flaming attack is really good. The weapon strength is also really good. But you have to bring two then. One unit is too. It's not really. It's useless. So I think I would leave out the cavalry. I wouldn't bring any cavalry. I think this is the best decision against Norsca, because Norsca is very heavily anti-cavalry and won't bring anything at all. So yeah, let's increase the amount of infantry units. So yeah, take another group of great swords, and maybe spearmen over here. We have 600, so everything here is quite nothing special. So 4, 3, that should be okay. So halberdiers, the halberdiers are so strong. I like this infantry unit so much. They also perform really good against all large units. But I think I would bring another unit of halberdiers. Yeah, and you need the great swords, because if he brings any marauder champions, and also the marauder champions with great weapon or the normal marauder champions, it's very important to do that. In my opinion, yeah, it's very important to. You have to concentrate on one thing. So the cavalry, in my opinion, you can be fine if he is not bringing a lot of skin wolves. But if you bring a lot of skin wolves, it's very bad for you. So I wouldn't get on this point over here. I would leave that out completely. Focus completely on the cavalry on the infantry. And in my opinion, this should work fine over here. So it's also quite a huge amount of units. Problem is here, but you can leave this out. Then you have General of the Empire for 1,400 credits, and yeah, maybe we have stuff over here. No, let's not do that. So yeah, I'm not sure what to do with the last 111 credits, but you can pump up. Maybe the flagellants. Yeah. I would play like this. It's very simple. A lot of infantry. So the flagellants to hold the line at the front. Also performing good against low tier infantry of the Norsca. The halberdiers against large units. And the great swords against high tier infantry. And of course you have silver bullets. And with the light wizard, you can net the big targets like werewolves, but also skin wolves and stuff. And you have a hammer of the witches. And you have a lot of mobility with a general of the empire on a hippogriff. So in my opinion, you should be fine. I would play it like this. So if I looking another hour on this build, I would make some little changes, but overall, I think I would also always concentrate on the infantry in this matchup, and yeah. As I said, you can also bring a Balthasar Geld over here. So on his Quicksilver, leave this all out. Everything quite useless. Can of course do that. You can see that. Can bring a final transmutation. Other spells are quite useless in my opinion. it would be only for the final transmutation. So, but you can see he's so cheap if you bring it with one spell, and you have a lot of money left, and you can lift this out over here. And then you have 500 again, and it's you. Maybe another group of handgunners would be good. So let's go with another group of handgunners. Then we have also a little problem. What is this over here? Oh, this is not important. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe you leave out the silver bullets, but they are so strong. I would leave out the silver bullets, I think, and take another over here and pump them up. So over here, 19. Should be okay. Yeah, I would play like this, I think. Or with the General of the Empire, I'm not sure, because Balthasar Geld is quite useless without final transmutation, and only to bring him to cast the final transmutation is also not really good. And you can see, if you bring a General of the Empire, you can leave out another group of handgunners. If you bring a Balthasar Geld, you have another group of handgunners. Both builds should be working well against Norsca, and yeah. So yeah, thank you for the. This was the first episode, and if you like that, please let me know. And so thank you, and see you on the next episode. Thank you. So a short addition. You can also, I found out, or I like it also, if you leave out 2 handgunners and increase the amount of units with. Sorry about that. With spearmen. So also really cool. So you can see that. You have a full rooster over here. And yeah, of course, something is not so good. Can leave that out over here. So this build is also, in my opinion, very strong, because the spearmen can support the flagellants, and the halberdiers can protect, in addition, the handgunners, and the greatswords are also. So you can see every slot is used. But as I said, Balthasar Geld is, in my opinion, it's not so good to bring in only with final transmutation. But you have, as you can see, you have a huge amount of units. I think this build works quite well against Norsca. So, short addition to that, and thank you. See you next time.